Welcome to Providence Park, the best atmosphere in women's world football. I'm going to keep saying the phrase, folks. You're going to get tired of it the next few weeks, but it's just so true. Another huge game in the National Women's Soccer League. The third place Portland Thorns hosting the fifth place Chicago Red Stars. And you got to get to the top four. That's where you want to be to make the playoffs. And then we are in that playoff push right now. 3 points go a long way for both these teams securing a spot in the top four. What's up, everybody? I'm Dallin Cuff. Great to be back here at Providence Park for another presentation of the NWSL on ESPN News presented by Lifetime. It's going to be a great game here. The Thorns and the Red Stars, so much to play for, so much talent on the field. Allie Wagner is here. She is so pumped about this digital show, I can't even put it into words. She couldn't get sleep last night because she wants to answer your Twitter questions and talk to our fans for about 15 minutes. But before we get to that, we'll get you the lineups for this big game. Let's go up to the booth with none other than Jen Hildreth.
Thanks so much, Dallin. The lights are really bright up here. I'm on the perch, of course. We'll get to the booth here shortly, but this is one of the best places to be. And I'm so excited that we're back here in Providence Park. We haven't seen either of these two teams in a while. And while Portland has certainly had Chicago's number in this matchup, 13 matches unbeaten in the regular season against Chicago, both of these teams right now playing some of their best soccer, which makes it really exciting. So let's look at how the Portland Thorns, coming off a full week of rest, will line up for this one. What a season Lindsey Horan is having, right? Golden Boot leader with 11 goals at the moment. Christine Sinclair has played every minute of every match this season for Portland. She's their all-time leading scorer, sitting at 38 goals. She's also tied for the league lead in assists this season. And on this streak that Portland's been on, winning 4 of the last 5, Anna Sternogorcevic, 3 goals in that stretch. So their offense really starting to come alive. Meanwhile, Chicago had to shore up the defense. We witnessed that match where Orlando put up 5 on them earlier this season. Well, they figured some things out. Part of that is Julie Ertz being into that back line. And they've made 2 changes as they did have to play in the middle of the week. No Danny Colaprico. Rory Dames just told me has been their most influential player this season. She just needed some rest. So Nikki Stanton and Yuki Nagasato, who got a little bit of rest for herself on Wednesday, now she's back in the lineup. So there you'll see Chicago probably will have to be monitoring some of these players who had to play an awful lot in that Wednesday matchup, 0-0 draw at Seattle. All right, let's get you back down to Dallin and Allie.
Thanks, Jen. And here's the aforementioned Allie Wagner. Great to have you here for her first digital show. Ready to roll?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
That's what I'm talking about right there, folks. That type of energy. All right, let's ask you about the lineups, though. What jumped out at you real quick with this big game, the lineups you saw? Let's start with Chicago first.
I think switching Short to the opposite side, putting her on the right, Gilliland on the left, and I think also bringing Stanton in. Mark Parsons talked about the physicality in the middle. Yeah. Rory Dames talked about it. Stanton can bring more of that presence in the center of the park. But I think perhaps overthinking it. We'll see how it plays out for Rory. But shifting Casey Short, Gilliland, they're both speedy players. I know part of the thought process behind that was dealing with the pace of Rasso, but that certainly jumped off the screen at me immediately.
And Short did walk off that game Wednesday night on the 65th minute. They thought she was hurt a little bit. She came out. They said to us yesterday at training, she's 100% full go and we'll be playing and starting on the other side.
That could be a big piece to it as well, you know, not putting her under the gun with the pace that Rasso likes to run at the opponent time and time again.
And Rasso's been excellent as of late with that Portland team. Anything you saw with the lineup or how they're playing as of late that you think is really critical here?
I think the balance in their attack has probably been the most influential piece of how they're playing. I know a big piece of it is going to be how Lindsey Horan gets involved in the attack, obviously leading the league. Jen talked about it with 11 goals. But a lot of that's off of set pieces. So how are they able to create those set piece chances? The left side with Klingenberg, Tobin-Heath, that's their more creative side, if you will, the side where maybe the tempo slows down a bit. The right side is where they're all fury and fire, where you've got Carpenter flying up the wing with Rasso. So very different look on either side of the pitch, but really in the midfield, I think is going to be a big battle.
All right, speaking of big battles, we got a lot going on in this league. So many big games this weekend. There are big games midweek. We'll show you the highlights first, but I do want to get to something that happened last week in our game in Utah. It might be one of the moments of the season. I might say Rapinoe might be the best player in the league, but she looks a little Neymar-esque here. Just goes check Becca Moros out here. Oh!
You know, No. The only thing I thought of when I saw this, Dallin, was you watching Arsenal. I just kept thinking, this is exactly what Dallin does every Saturday, Sunday morning, 7 o'clock.
Being a Gunners fan right now is no fun.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, 11:30 local time here, I was hurt when 3-2 lost to Chelsea. Moros, really funny moment there in that game.
That was brilliant.
It was great. And now they did lose that game. It was a huge win for Seattle, 1-0. Speaking of Seattle, they did play Wednesday as well. They hosted Chicago, which is, again, the Chicago big road trip. Chicago dominated this game early on, but couldn't quite find anything. Julie Ertz's header there, saved by Lydia Williams. Naho Kawasumi, the Japanese player, gets a cross in, saved by Alyssa Nair. And this was the one, Allie. Sam Kerr told us yesterday she wanted that one back. If she put it out anywhere else in the goal, she could have scored. Couldn't do it. Now, this is last night. Rachel Daly puts it on a platter for Kalia Ohai. And Houston was off and running in the first half, up 1-0. But check this out by Daly.
Remember when she was playing in the back line? Yeah, I think it was a good idea to move her up the pitch. Well
Absolutely.
done, Pal.
She had 2 assists. The fourth goal, she kind of got an unofficial assist with a dummy she had. It was really quite brilliant. Now, the Sky Blue game, unfortunately for Denise Reddy's crew, they were up 2-0. And for the 48th minute, Katie Johnson put up in the first half. Katie Johnson scored again, the Mexican international, but then an own goal in the second half, and they just can't get off the schneid. Amy Rodriguez, A-Rod, 94th minute, scores a goal to give Utah a point and keep them in the race. Before you react to that real quick, North Carolina, Orlando, into the 22nd minute, another massive game. Orlando's in 4th place. They need points. That game's suspended to tomorrow. 10 a.m. Eastern time, we're kicking off.
Yeah, but think about the implications of these two teams. We're going to know that result, and perhaps that would have impacted how much they push here. You know, Rory Gaines told me before the game he might be comfortable coming out of here with a point. Could have altered his game plan knowing that result.
You can watch that game tomorrow, 10 a.m. on NWSL.com or the NWSL app. But here are your latest standings. North Carolina said they are standing top. They've already got the shield, which was going to be given to them after today's game, but that may not happen tomorrow. I don't know. Seattle, they have 3 games left, 37 points. Now let's get a little deeper dive and look at the playoff race itself. Now Seattle, this is going to lead to our first Twitter question. Gets interesting because 3 games left. They have Houston, and they have they play Orlando. Excuse me. They have Houston coming up. Then they play the final game of the season against Portland, which is a critical game that is going to be on Lifetime September 7th. Portland, big game there, obviously, coming up tonight. Orlando has North Carolina right now. We'll see what they do. Utah is still in the mix. Chicago, obviously, still in the mix. Portland and Seattle are the only 2 teams that technically control their own playoff opportunity. If they win out, they get that 2nd seed. They can host a game, which is critical. So, as I mentioned, as I bumble through my words, which I tend to do, we're going to go to some Twitter questions here. And this is from @Evictions. It says, which 3 teams do you think will seal the last 3 spots in the playoffs? So, I put that question to you, Allie. North Carolina's in. Who are the other 3? You
know, it's funny, as you were even just saying Seattle's schedule, that's a tough schedule. Houston is no walkover, and I think they are a long shot looking in, but in this league, anything can happen, so I don't discount them, but my gut has me leaning towards Seattle, Portland, and Chicago. Tonight, massive result for one of these 2 teams would put them in a great position going on, but I just think Portland and Chicago are finding their form. They're peaking at the right time at the end of the season. I think it's going to be too tough of a task for Utah. They just don't seem to have that offensive thrust that they're going to need. Perhaps next year they'll be better suited under Laura Harvey, pick up another player perhaps offensively, but I think with the other team on the outside looking in, it's
Orlando then?
Orlando. Yeah. I still give them hope, but I really think it comes down to these 2 plus Seattle.
Yeah, Orlando has obviously, they're going to pick up that game against North Carolina. That's who Seattle actually. Seattle was Houston, North Carolina, then Portland. So that's a tough road to hoe right there. Yeah. Now that Orlando team is going to be a tough game for them tomorrow, and then they have to play Chicago as well. Chicago's got 3 of their last 4 on the road, and they're all against teams in contention right now. So it's not going to be. It's going to be a battle all the way.
They have Sam Kerr.
They do have Sam Kerr.
That's all you need to know.
They have Sam Kerr. We'll see if she can make the difference.
Look at the difference
tonight.
between. I mean, there's a lot of differences for Sky Blue, but how impactful she was last year. Sam Kerr, massive.
MVP, and on a team that really struggled, you take away that MVP, you can see what happens. Let's go to the next question. If you had to pick a player from each team and were able to take one of their abilities, who would you pick and why? This was from Sydney @Sid13.
Why only one player? Why only one player?
You know, it's your world, Allie. We are literally just living in it, so do whatever you want.
Let me see. First, I'd pick age. I'd take all their age over. I take their age. I take their knees.
There was an 8-year-old walking over. I'll take the age.
Yeah, maybe I'd go back there. No, I like a little bit of wisdom, but not that I have that. I go with Kerr, obviously, for Chicago. I mean, her athleticism, her explosiveness, her agility, it's out of this world. I mean, I don't know there's many other players that have that and then have her technical ability and just she's only 24, but she's developing that tactical nuance.
Is that scary or what? She's only 24 years old.
It's pretty ridiculous. And a big thing for her is going to be just to stay healthy and to keep building, because she's layering in elements to, I think, what is becoming one of the top players in the world. I think she is there for what she's been able to do in this league, and then you're seeing it with Australia. Now it's going to be about scoring against the U.S. because she hasn't done that in national team play.
And we know she wants to do that. When you look at the Portland team, a lot to choose from there. Who would you pick, and what attribute would you pick there?
I think I got to go with Tobin Heath.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Yeah. Who doesn't want to be I mean, she's the gift girl. She fills them up. Yeah, she fills. I mean, her ability on the ball just to make the opponent look silly is kind of a brilliant thing, and I love that. I mean, one of my favorite coaches, Jerry Smith, always said it's you can win, but winning and entertaining, that's where it's at, and that's what Tobin Heath does. So I think I would pick that, but maybe bring in Lindsey Horan, her ability to finish around the box and her toughness. She's been unbelievable. Yeah,
I feel like there's a ball in the 6-yard box. Somehow she ends up on it and she scores. We've got a Tobin Heath jersey, and of course the entire crowd here is going to be rowdy and ready to roll. One of the games we had earlier in the summer when we were doing one of our digital shows, and taking questions from a girl we like to know now is Kerr. And with that said, that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to toss it up to Jen Hildreth to get a little bit more on her girl, Kerr.
What you got, Jen?
Well, you guys, I knew as soon as I saw that tweet this week, I was like, yes, this is the hard-hitting journalism that I'm going to bring to the digital pregame show, because we have an update. Kerr has her own T-shirt. That's what I'm talking about. And she's here. I think she said she was going to be here at the game. If not, I'm assuming she's going to at least be watching. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't technically read that tweet right now, but I'm sure you guys can read it. So what I want to know is, guys, I tried the last time we had Chicago, and I'm pretty sure I really wanted to say Kerr. Never got the opportunity. Maybe, just maybe, tonight we'll get to hear a big Kerr if Sam Kerr does her thing.
Jen, I got to make the point, because you love Sam's ability to do the backflip. She's in mid-backflip in this shirt. This is fantastic.
I know, and she has not done it yet this season. It was maybe a little bit of a shoulder injury, but I don't know, Dallin. Maybe she busted out. If Chicago can get it done against Portland, something the team hasn't done since 2013.
Thanks a lot, Jen. That's a big thing to say here, by the way, too, because this Chicago team has not beat Portland in 5 years. I asked Rory Dames earlier how much that plays into people's minds. He said, we try not to think about it. We're not going to talk about it, but that's something that we're aware of for sure. Thanks a lot, Jen. And coming up in just a few minutes on ESPN News, Tobin Heath, as Allie just called her, the gift girl, so great on the ball, hooking up her teammates against Julie Ertz, U.S. international center back, trying to slow down Heath. Lindsey Horan, this entire attack here at Providence Park. It's going to be a great game on ESPN News in just a few minutes. And back here at Providence Park, getting ready for the Thorns and the Red Stars. We've talked a lot about Sam Kerr, and rightfully so, last year's MVP. She sits on 10 goals right now, second in the league. Allie is with the Australian.
Thanks, Dallin. I'm here with Sam Kerr. Sam, 5 goals in your last 4 games. You seem to settle really nicely in with the Chicago side. What's clicking for you?
Yeah, I think just getting to know the team better. We've had a lot more players back. We've been hit with the injury sticker early in the season, but I think just more training sessions together, more time together, and I think everyone's really starting to click. It's not just myself.
Do you think you're the best striker in the world?
Oh, I don't think so, but if people think that of me, that's very nice. But I've still got a long way to go. I'm only 24, and hopefully I've got a lot more to learn and a lot more goals to score in my career.
Way too humble. All right, I know team results are the most important thing for you guys, but you're also chasing that golden boot. Lindsey Horan on their sides leading the way with 11. You have 10. How often do you think about that? Some of the best goal scorers are more selfish in their mentality. Do you have that?
Yeah, it's a funny thing. I tend to score when I'm not thinking about it. So if I'm chasing something down, and I'm having a bit of fun with it, I'll score. But if I'm, thinking I have to score. So I'm just going out there tonight to play my game, and I have fun every game I play. So play my game, and hopefully the goals will just follow.
You told me yesterday that Hope Solo likes to play mental games with her opponent when you faced off against her in the 2015 World Cup. Do you do that with any of the goalkeepers you face?
Sometimes the centre backs, but Look, I feel like you get bad karma sometimes. So until I score, then I start playing the mind games. But it's all fun. Most of the girls I've played against, now for 6 years, so I know them quite well. And Sonnet even messaged me today that, she'd love to see a Kerr goal and just having a bit of a joke. So we're all friends on here, but when we're competing, we're competitors.
Awesome. We're going to put an ISO cam on you. Thanks, Sam. Good luck.
The ISO cam will be on Sam Kerr, and rightfully so. We saw her train yesterday, and whenever we were talking to her afterwards, that her positivity, her energy is infectious, and all her teammates will say that, the coaches will say that, but also what she can do on the field is pretty outstanding. She's got the entire package. Now, the woman on the other side that's going to be trying to slow her down, Adriana Franch, last year's goalkeeper of the year in this league, set a record with shutouts last year with 11. She's with Allie now.
All right, first I got to know, is it AD or Adriana? What do you prefer?
The athletic name's AD.
Okay, so Adriana. I'm just kidding.
That's fair.
So, AD, pretty uneventful year for you so far. You had the bout with injury where you missed a big chunk of the season, got called in for the national team, and now you're in peak form for Portland. When you look back on this year at this point, is there anything that was pivotal in terms of your development?
I think it was just a continuation of what I worked on last year with Nadine and the goalkeeper group. With, there's an injury that I haven't really I've experienced it before, so it's not anything new. And then just trying to bounce back as quick as possible and get back into the groove of things, and they made it easy.
When you talk about working on things that you're working on with Nadine last year, what would those things be?
Just the different technical styles of goalkeeping and just being explosive in certain situations, learning the different aspects of 1v1 defending, and then just being strong in the air.
And being in with the U.S. team, what was the biggest challenge of that?
Understanding how the process kind of worked within the tournament of play, and how many games just within a short period of time, and just the scouting and everything, the expectation of everybody and all the meetings and everything like that. There's just that next level.
Well, hopefully we're going to see the next level today. You're going against a big striker in Kerr. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great stuff from Adriana, as always. And talking to her earlier in the summer, she was telling us about getting healthy and battling through that knee injury, and something she dealt with before in her career. Same knee, same injury. She'd been through it before. But with that prospect of playing for the U.S., not in the back of her mind, but something that she knows if she took care of business, she would have that opportunity. It was great to see her get that call in. We'll see if she'll get some minutes in the future. Now, she's not thinking about that at all right now, because this Portland Thorns Red Stars game is absolutely critical. Again, Thorns right now in third in the table. Still a chance to host the semifinal here at Providence Park, which would be absolutely huge. Chicago, they're on the outside looking in. They need points. They're on the road again. They were at Seattle on Wednesday, on the road here. They're going on the road in Orlando next week. Can they get 3? It would be huge if they can walk out with all 3 of these points. We will find out soon. Now put down the mouse, close your laptop, grab your remote, turn on ESPN News. Get there now. We will see you in a few minutes.